Welcome to Fractured Chaos.
You ever lie to yourself so well, so damn convincingly, that the truth feels like a jump scare? Like your own life caught you slipping and whispered surprise right in your ear when you least expected it? That was me, Jacqueline Marie Wilson, Jackie to everyone who knew me, the girl who let her man cheat because he paid all the bills. Not some of them, all of them. Rent, car note, cell phone, groceries, hair appointments, my mama's insulin, everything. People say love is blind, but comfort? Comfort will throw a whole velvet blanket over your face, tuck you in tight, and sing you a lullaby while you slowly suffocate. And for a while, I slept real good in that darkness. Never stirred, never questioned, just dreamed pretty dreams while reality waited patiently outside. Travis Washington was a provider. That was his whole brand, his identity, the foundation he built himself on. 6'4" with shoulders broad enough to carry the weight of my world, salt and pepper beard trimmed with geometric precision, smelled like Dior Sauvage and bad decisions waiting to happen. Owned a few rental properties scattered throughout Atlanta's up-and-coming neighborhoods, had a barbershop off Edgewood that was always cash only, with a line out the door every Saturday. He'd walk into a room and women would transform into Wi-Fi signals, constantly trying to connect. Eyes darting his way, postures straightening, conversations pausing mid-sentence. And me, I was the lucky one who got the password, the chosen one. The girl on his arm who got to go home with him when the night was done. My friends called me fortunate. My mother called him stable. My sister called him too good to be true. Only my grandmother, before she passed, looked at him with eyes that had seen 82 years of men like him come and go and said, "He's handsome, baby. But handsome men make ugly choices." We had a deal, Travis and I. I never signed it on paper, never verbalized it clearly, but it hung in the air between us, understood. He keeps the money flowing, and I keep my mouth shut. You want to step out? Fine. You want to text other women when I'm asleep beside you? Whatever. Just don't embarrass me. Don't bring it to my doorstep. Don't let me hear about it from someone else. Girl, you're so lucky, my best friend Denise would say, admiring the Tiffany bracelet Travis had bought me after disappearing for a whole weekend. He treats you like a queen. And I'd smile, the weight of the diamonds somehow heavier than they should be. Yeah, lucky me. But cheating has a smell. You can Febreze it, you can shower it off, you can drown it in cologne. But eventually, it seeps through. It finds the cracks, it makes itself known. That day came on a Thursday, ordinary as any other. I was doing laundry, another thing about me that made me so perfect for Travis. I kept his home immaculate, his clothes pressed, his meals cooked. I found a second phone in his gym bag, not even hidden well. Just there, like he was getting sloppy. Or worse, like he didn't care if I found it. Cracked screen, dead battery, and taped to the back. A yellow sticky note in handwriting that wasn't his. Don't tell her until after the 20th. My hands trembled as I held it. Not with anger, not yet. With something worse. Dread. Because the 20th ain't just some random date to circle on a calendar. It's when our lease renews automatically for another year. It's when our joint bank account gets hit with the biggest payment of the month. So I'm sitting there on our imported Italian leather sofa that Travis was so proud of, thinking, oh, this man is planning something. A clean break. A new lease on life. Without me. I charge the phone, place it carefully on the coffee table, and stare at it like it's a bomb about to detonate. I wait until he's out at his weekly poker game with the guys, half of whom I suspect don't exist. Use his daughter's birthday to unlock it. Her birth year, month, and day in sequence. Bingo. There's one name that keeps coming up. Lacey. No emoji, no cute nickname. Not baby girl or shoddy or any of the honey-dripping names he calls me when he wants something. Just Lacey. Cold, matter-of-fact, professional almost. I scroll, text going back 8 months, wire transfers, sums that make my stomach lurch, hotel bookings at places nicer than he's ever taken me, flight confirmations for weekend trips when he told me he was visiting his sick uncle in Memphis. Photos of me, sleeping, in our bed, in our living room, through windows from outside our condo. Dozens of them. And the last message exchange. Lacey, is it time yet? Travis, almost, she has no idea, not yet. The phone slips from my fingers, lands on the plush white carpet that I vacuum twice a week to keep pristine. My mind races through possibilities, each worse than the last. Is he planning to leave me? Hurt me? Is this some kind of sick game? That's when I decide. This ends on my terms, not his. I pick up the phone and text Lacey. Meet me tonight, same hotel, 9 p.m., wear red. Then I blocked her number. Let the games begin. I stand in front of the mirror in our bathroom, applying lipstick the shade of arterial blood. My hands are steady now. Anger has a way of calming you, focusing you when fear would make you fall apart. I'd chosen my outfit carefully. A black dress that Travis had never seen, bought with money I'd been skimming from grocery runs and hiding in a tampon box, the one place I knew he'd never look. The dress hugged curves I'd been working on in secret gym sessions when he thought I was at book club. Stiletto heels that added 4 inches to my height and 100 pounds to my confidence. I wasn't just dressed for the occasion. I was armor-plated for war. Going somewhere special? Travis asks, appearing in the doorway. He's fresh from the shower, towel wrapped low on his hips, that familiar scent of his body wash filling the space between us. Girls' night, I lie, smooth as silk. Denise got a promotion. He nods, distracted by his phone. Don't wait up, got a late meeting with potential investors. On a Thursday night, at 9 p.m., sure. Wouldn't dream of it, I say, applying another coat of mascara. He doesn't even look at me again before he leaves. Doesn't notice the new dress, the different makeup, the fact that my girls' night purse contains copies of our lease agreement and screenshots of his text messages. At 8:45, I arrive at the Hotel Clement. It's upscale but not pretentious. The kind of place where discretion costs extra but is always guaranteed. I take a seat at the bar where I can see the entrance. Order a whiskey neat. I never drink whiskey, but tonight isn't about being me. It's about being someone stronger. And right on time she walks in. Lacey. The red dress I requested hugs a figure that makes me instantly understand why Travis was captivated. Tall, taller than me even in my heels. Stunning in a way that makes other women both envious and insecure. Body shaped by expensive gym memberships and possibly a surgeon's careful hand. Face that belongs on billboards with cheekbones that could cut glass and eyes that miss nothing. She orders a drink. I slide next to her and say, "You're early." She turns, clocking me instantly. Recognition flashes across those perfect features. "Jackie?" I nod, forcing a smile that doesn't reach my eyes. She doesn't look surprised enough. She doesn't look caught. She smirks. "He said you'd try something like this." I feel my facade crack slightly. "Excuse me?" "We should talk," I manage to say, my voice steadier than I feel. She sips her tequila sunrise slowly, deliberately, making me wait. "We really shouldn't, but okay." And then she drops it on me like it's casual conversation about the weather. "I'm pregnant, 4 months, he didn't tell you?" The bar around us continues its Thursday night hum of conversation and clinking glasses. But for me, everything goes silent. Not because I'm shocked about Travis cheating, I'd made peace with that reality long ago, but because this was something else entirely. This was permanent. This was family. "Is it his?" I hear myself ask, the words foreign in my mouth. She laughs, a sound like wind chimes in a storm. "Maybe, but he thinks it is. And in the end, isn't that what matters?" Before I can respond, she slides off the bar stool, collects her clutch, and leans in close enough that I can smell her perfume. Something expensive and unfamiliar. "You should ask him about the trust," she whispers. "And the others. You're not as special as you think, honey." And just like that, she's gone in a swish of red fabric and quiet confidence, leaving me with an untouched whiskey and a chasm opening where my life used to be. I drive home in a daze, muscle memory guiding me through Atlanta traffic more than conscious thought. The radio plays something upbeat and mindless that doesn't penetrate the fog of my thoughts. When I arrive, the condo is filled with steam and the sound of Travis singing in the shower, some old-school R&B song about forever love. The irony isn't lost on me. I stand in the bathroom doorway watching his silhouette through the frosted glass door, singing like a man with no enemies, like a man whose world isn't about to implode. And in that moment, I realize I don't hate him. I hate me. I hate that I traded self-respect for shared bills and designer purses, that I convinced myself dependency was the same as devotion. that I'd become so comfortable in my golden cage that I'd forgotten what it felt like to fly. "Is that you, baby?" Travis calls out, turning off the water. "Hand me a towel?" I do. Watch him dry off. Watch him smile at me. That same smile that first captured me 5 years ago at Denise's birthday party. It still doesn't reach his eyes. "You're home early," he says, wrapping the towel around his waist. "Thought you had girls' night." "Denise wasn't feeling well," I lie. "What about your investors?" "Rescheduled," he says without missing a beat. "Want to watch a movie?" And just like that, we're playing normal. Like his second phone isn't still charging in my bedside drawer. Like Lacey's words aren't echoing in my head on repeat. You should ask him about the trust and the others. That night, I lie awake beside him, listening to his even breathing, feeling the heat of his body next to mine. Familiar, yet suddenly foreign. In the darkness, I make a decision. I call my cousin Kira at 6 a.m. the next morning. She's in real estate, one of the top sellers in the metro area. Always up early, always hustling. "How fast can I sell the condo?" I ask without preamble. A pause. "Jackie, everything okay?" "Just answer the question, how fast?" She sighs, and I can hear her shifting into business mode. "The market's hot right now. A week, maybe 2 if you're not picky about the offer, if you're quiet about it." I grip the phone tighter. "Then don't tell a soul, not one person." Because what Travis doesn't know, what he's apparently forgotten in his grand schemes, is that the condo we live in, it's in my name. Only my name. My grandma left it to me before she passed, said, with eyes clouded by cataracts but clear with wisdom, "Never let a man make you homeless, Jacqueline. Never." I hang up with Kira and start making lists. Silent lists. Mental tallies of what's mine, what's his, what's ours. The furniture we bought together, the art he insisted on, the kitchen appliances I've never used because Travis likes eating out. I list it, quietly, for below market value to ensure a quick sale. Transfer the earnest money to an account Travis doesn't know exists, one I opened with my grandmother's Social Security check when she first got sick. He still thinks I'm his dumb little secret keeper. His beautiful, grateful, obedient Jackie, who doesn't ask questions when he comes home late smelling like someone else's perfume. But I'm the whole storm he never saw coming. The week passes in a strange, suspended animation. I go through the motions of our life together. I cook his favorite meals. I laugh at his jokes. I nod sympathetically when he complains about problems at the barbershop. And all the while, I'm dismantling our life brick by brick. I call my mother in Savannah. "I might need to come home for a while," I tell her, keeping my voice casual. "What's wrong?" she asks immediately, mother's intuition cutting through my pretense. "Nothing yet," I say, "just making contingency plans." I can hear her shifting, can picture her sitting up straighter in her worn armchair. "Is it Travis? Did he do something?" Did he do something? What hasn't he done might be the shorter list. "We'll talk when I see you," I say instead. She's quiet for a moment. "Your room is always here, baby. Always." I find myself blinking back tears. Strange how kindness can break you when cruelty only makes you harder. Night before the 20th, Travis comes home with Thai food and a bottle of champagne, sets it all out on our dining table with actual napkins folded next to the plates. "What's the occasion?" I ask, watching him carefully. He pops the cork on the champagne, pours 2 glasses. His eyes are bright with something I can't read. "You ready for our fresh start, babe?" I take the glass he offers, set it down untouched. "What kind of fresh start?" He grins, takes a long sip of his champagne. "I've been working on something big, really big, going to change everything for us." I nod, face neutral. "Sounds exciting." "It is," he says, pulling out his phone. "Got the confirmation today. We're moving to Miami next month. Already put a deposit on a place. Ocean view. You're going to love it." Miami, where Lacey lives, according to her Instagram that I found last night. "Miami," I repeat. Interesting choice. He doesn't notice the flatness in my voice. He's too caught up in his own narrative. Bigger market for the business, better connections, and he reaches across the table for my hand. A better place to raise a family. I feel my face freeze. "A family?" He nods, suddenly serious. "I know we've been putting it off, focusing on careers and all that, but I'm ready, Jackie. Ready to be a father. To Lacey's baby, to the child he thinks is his, to the ready-made family waiting for him in Miami. That's quite a change of heart, I manage. Travis shrugs. Sometimes you just know when it's time, you know? I stand up, walk to my purse hanging by the door, return with an envelope. Speaking of time, I say, sliding it across the table to him. He opens it, curiosity giving way to confusion as he reads. Looks up slowly, eyes narrowed. You're evicting me? I nod, taking my first sip of champagne. It tastes like victory. This ain't your castle, Travis. Never was. He laughs, like deep, sinister, horror movie villain laugh that raises the hair on my arms. You didn't think I'd protect myself? You signed a prenup, Jackie. Remember when we got the Escalade? That wasn't just a car loan. It was a trust agreement. You're liable now. Wait, what? He pulls up something on his phone, turns it to show me. Digital signature. My name, right there at the bottom of a document I don't remember signing. Page 3, paragraph 6, he says, voice smooth as oil. If you terminate our cohabitation, you assume 50% of all outstanding debts to the Washington Family Trust, which currently stands at, he scrolls, just under $300,000. The champagne turns sour in my mouth. He wrapped a car lease into a trap, buried legal language in documents I signed trusting him. This man was a villain in a custom suit, a predator with a platinum Amex. You're bluffing, I say, but there's a tremble in my voice now. Call my lawyer, he says with a shrug. Call my mother, she's the executor of the trust. His mother, the woman who raised him to be exactly who he is, the woman who told me at our engagement party. Travis needs a special kind of woman, one who understands how men like him operate. I should have heard the warning in her words instead of the compliment I wanted to believe. The next morning, while Travis is at the gym, I call his mother. Elaine Washington picks up on the third ring. Jacqueline, she says, voice cool and collected. What a surprise. I'm leaving Travis, I say without preamble. A pause. I see. He says I owe the family trust money if I do. Another pause, longer this time. That's correct. You signed the agreement. Under false pretenses. I didn't know what I was signing. Ignorance is not a legal defense, dear. You should have read the document more carefully. I take a deep breath. I'm sending you something. Give me your email. She provides it, curiosity evident in her voice. I send her screenshots of the texts, the pregnancy, the financial blackmail, the photos of me sleeping. 3 minutes pass in silence. Did you receive it? I finally ask. Yes. Her voice is different now, tighter. Is this supposed to change something? I grip the phone harder. Your son has been stalking me, photographing me without consent, planning to leave me for a woman who may be carrying his child. She sighs, the sound of someone dealing with a minor inconvenience rather than a family crisis. You married into this family, Jacqueline. This is how we do business. Clean breaks aren't always pretty. I hang up, stomach churning with disgust. The apple hadn't fallen far from the tree. The entire Washington family was rotten to the core. I go back through that second phone while Travis is still out, looking for something, anything I can use. And then I find a folder, hidden, encrypted with a password I have to try 12 variations of before I get it right. Once I'm in, I wish I wasn't. Videos, messages, from other women, many other women, and some are not women by birth. My hand flies to my mouth, not in judgment. Travis's sexuality was his business, but the deception, the double life, the sheer scale of his lies makes me dizzy. I hit play on a video, volume low, it's him, with someone named Tariq, who also goes by Tia according to the text messages. They're in a hotel room, laughing, drinking, real familiar in a way that speaks to an ongoing relationship, not a one-time encounter. And then it cuts to black. But the audio keeps going. Travis says, she'll never find out, and even if she does, I own her now. Got her signature on everything. That prenup is ironclad. A laugh I don't recognize. Man, that's cold. Even for you. Business is business, Travis replies. Mixing pleasure is just a bonus. My legs give out and I sink to the floor. Not because he slept with someone trans or because he might be bisexual, but because he lied with such confidence, such calculated precision, like I was the fool in his game show, like my entire existence was just a convenient cover for his real life. I look up the most recent messages with Tariq Bertia, find a number, call it with shaking hands. Hello? A cautious voice answers. Is this Tariq? A pause. Who's asking? Jackie, Travis Washington's fiancé. The sharp intake of breath is audible. Shit. Look, I can explain. I'm not calling to confront you, I interrupt. I need your help. We meet at a small coffee shop in Cabbagetown, neutral territory far from Travis's usual haunts. Tariq shows up 20 minutes late, nervous energy radiating off him in waves. He's handsome in a delicate way. Fine features, expressive eyes, a grace to his movements that makes me understand what drew Travis to him. He slides into the booth across from me, wraps long fingers around the mug of black coffee I ordered for him. I didn't know he was engaged, he says immediately. He told me y'all were in an open arrangement. I laugh, the sound hollow even to my own ears. We were, I just never agreed to it. Tariq winces. I'm sorry, for real. I shake my head. I'm not here for apologies. I'm here because I think we can help each other. His eyes narrow slightly. How's that? I slide my phone across the table, show him the trust document, the liability clause, the trap. He's done this before, Tariq says after reading it. Gets people to sign things, holds it over them. Tell me everything, I say, leaning forward. And he does. Turns out Travis had a whole life built around deception. Blackmailing people, using their secrets as leverage. He didn't just cheat, he collected, used vulnerability like currency. Built his real estate portfolio not through honest investment, but through coercion and threats. He's got dirt on half of Atlanta, Tariq says, voice low. Politicians, business owners, people with reputations to protect. Including you? Tariq looks away. I'm not out to my family. Traditional Caribbean household. It would destroy my mother. I reach across the table, touch his hand lightly. We can fix this. All of it. We spend 3 hours in that coffee shop, making plans, connecting dots. By the time we leave, we have the beginnings of a strategy. You really think this will work? Tariq asks as we stand on the sidewalk outside. It has to, I reply, for both our sakes. The next week is a blur of activity. I contact Lacey, the real Lacey this time, meet her at a different hotel bar, no games this time. Why should I help you? She asks, sipping water rather than tequila. I've got my own problems. Because he's playing all of us, I say, and because I know about the baby. Her hand instinctively goes to her stomach, still mostly flat beneath her expensive blouse. What about it? Is it really his? She looks away. Does it matter? It does if you're using it to get money from him. Her eyes snap back to mine, fire in them now. I'm not a con artist. I'm protecting myself and my child. From what? She hesitates, then pulls out her own phone. Shows me texts. Different from the ones I saw, but equally manipulative. Travis promising to leave me. Travis threatening to expose her past. Apparently she'd worked as an escort briefly in college to pay tuition. Travis demanding she have the baby to prove her loyalty. Jesus, I whisper. He's blackmailing me, she says quietly. Says if I don't play along with his plan to move to Miami and start over, he'll make sure everyone knows about my past. I'd lose my real estate license. My family would... I finish her sentence. They wouldn't understand. She nods, eyes filling with tears. The baby isn't even his. It's my ex-boyfriend's, but Travis saw an opportunity and took it. I feel a strange kinship with this woman I'd been prepared to hate. We're going to take him down, I tell her. All of us together. So we build a case. Tariq, Lacey, me, Kira's lawyer friend who specializes in fraud cases. We connect the dots, compile evidence, document everything. Travis thought he was the only one keeping receipts. But we had invoices. It takes 3 more weeks of careful planning. 3 weeks of me playing the perfect fiancé while building the case that will end his reign of manipulation. 3 weeks of secret meetings and late-night phone calls and evidence gathering. I file a civil suit, breach of privacy, fraud, financial coercion, the works. Travis gets served at his own barbershop on a Saturday afternoon. Watching from across the street, I see the color drain from his face as he reads the papers. Watches him pull out his phone, presumably to call his mother. His empire starts crumbling faster than I expected. Elaine Washington dissolves the trust quietly to avoid the media attention that would come with fighting the case. She knows what would come out if this went to court, knows her son's activities wouldn't withstand public scrutiny. Travis shows up at our condo, my condo, that night. Eyes wild, movements erratic in a way I've never seen before. "What have you done?" he demands, slamming the door behind him. I sit calmly on the sofa, the same sofa where this all began with a second phone and a sticky note. I protected myself, finally. "You've ruined everything," he says, voice cracking. "Years of work, connections, my reputation." "Your reputation," I repeat. "You mean the one built on lies and manipulation? On blackmailing people and exploiting their vulnerabilities?" He takes a step toward me, and for the first time, I feel a flicker of fear. But I stand my ground. "You think you've won?" he asks, voice dangerously low. "You think this ends with me walking away quietly? I still have the photos, Jackie. I still have leverage." I smile then, a real smile. "Check your cloud storage, Travis. Check all your accounts." He pulls out his phone, fingers moving frantically across the screen. I watch as realization dawns on his face. "Everything's gone," he whispers. "Everything," I confirm. "Tariq knows people who know things about digital security. Turns out your passwords weren't that complicated. Your mother's maiden name and your birth year, amateur hour." Travis sinks into an armchair, suddenly looking smaller than I've ever seen him. "What do you want? Money? The properties?" I shake my head. "I just want you gone. Out of my home. Out of my life. The rest is up to the courts." "And if I fight this? Then everyone sees the evidence. Every person you've blackmailed. Every lie you've told. Every illegal contract you've forced people to sign. Your choice." He looks at me then, really looks at me, maybe for the first time in years. "I didn't think you had it in you." "That was your first mistake," I say quietly. "One of many." The aftermath unfolds like dominoes falling in slow motion. Lacey ends up on her own. Baby situation still questionable, but at least now she's free from Travis's threats. She moves back to Tampa to be closer to her sister. Travis's barbershop closes within a month. Turns out most of his employees were working under coercive conditions too, bound by contracts similar to the one he'd trapped me with. His rental properties go on the market, not because he has to sell them, but because staying in Atlanta becomes impossible as word spreads through certain circles about what he'd been doing. His mother calls me once, just once. "You've destroyed my son's life," she says, each word precise and clipped. "No," I reply calmly. "I just exposed what he was building it on." She hangs up without another word. "And me?" I walk away clean. Condo sold for more than asking price. Bank account healthy enough to give me time to figure out my next move. Therapy booked twice weekly to unpack the years of manipulation and gaslighting I'd endured. I move in with my mother temporarily, use the guest room to spread out journals and vision boards and college brochures. At 32, I'm starting over, and for the first time in years, the thought exhilarates rather than terrifies me. "You doing okay, baby?" my mother asks one evening, finding me on the porch swing, staring at the sunset. "Getting there," I say, making room for her beside me. "I never liked him," she admits, "but I thought he made you happy." I lean my head on her shoulder, smell the familiar scent of her cocoa butter lotion. I think I confused comfort with happiness, security with love. She sighs, wraps an arm around me. "Easy mistake to make, especially when you grew up watching me struggle to pay bills." I look at her then, really look at her. The fine lines around her eyes from years of worrying. The calluses on her hands from cleaning houses to put food on our table. The quiet dignity she's always carried. "I'm sorry, Mama." She shakes her head. "For what?" "For thinking the answer was finding a man to take care of everything, instead of learning to take care of myself." She squeezes my shoulder. "You're learning now. That's what matters." The next day, I enroll in business courses at Georgia State. Use part of my condo money to invest in a small startup Kira's been talking about. Open a separate account specifically for my mother's medical needs. At night, I still sometimes wake up in a cold sweat. Phantom memories of Travis's hands on me, his voice in my ear. But those moments grow fewer and farther between as weeks pass. And peace? Peace feels better when you paid for it yourself. When you fought your way through fire to claim it. When it comes on your terms, not someone else's. You can let a man cheat if he pays the bills. Society practically encourages that arrangement, dressed up in pretty language about providers and protectors. But baby, if he's buying your silence, just know he's already designing your cage, measuring the bars, testing the lock. The question isn't how much he pays. The question is, what's it costing you? Because some debts can't be settled with a platinum card. Some prices are too high to justify with designer shoes and paid electricity bills. Some things, like dignity, self-respect, and freedom, are supposed to be non-negotiable. I learned that lesson the hard way, through tears and fears and years wasted. But I learned it. And now I'm the one building something. Brick by hard-earned brick. A life that's truly mine.